Alright, what's up YouTube? Counterpunch here. Okay, check it out. This isn't a bash and trash Andre Ward video, but I'm just reporting on the latest Kovalev interview. Now, Kovalev, in this interview, they asked him all kinds of questions, new questions, not the same old recycled, stuff we keep getting. They said, you knocked Andre Ward down in the second round. Why didn't you finish him? If you knocked him down, you should have finished him, right? He said, well, I wanted to be patient, and, I didn't want to jump in there and get caught with something stupid, because we know that when a fighter gets in trouble, they're desperate and they can throw a haymaker, you get caught. Okay, but then he said by the fifth round, I got tired. I gassed out. This is the same old thing. He keeps saying that he gassed out, right? Okay, but then they were talking about Andre Ward, and he said, yeah, well, honestly, he hits like a girl. He gave the analogy of his 23-year-old, cousin or friend that is a girl and that hits him, and he was being truthful. He said, honestly, this 23-year-old woman hits harder than Andre Ward, and the judges gave him every punch that they could give him. And he went on to say, look, he won 4 rounds out of 12. Now, I've broken this down time and time and time again. It was a robbery. It really was. And look, and like I said, if Andre Ward got robbed, I'd be saying the same exact thing. But he said, he won probably 4 rounds, and I won the rest of them with a knockdown on top of it. He said, Christmas is over. He got his gift. Now and then what struck me as kind of interesting, they said, well, what about the judges? Do you trust the judges in the rematch? And he said, yes. He says they're different judges, and, I do trust them. He said, so apparently Kovalev has confidence in the 3 judges. Now, they're all American, I can tell you this. Remember, Kathy Duva in main event, she went to, I believe it was the New York State Athletic Commission, and just basically pleaded with them to have, a diverse panel of judges, meaning not all American, pro-American Andre Ward judges, but now we got 3 Americans, but Kovalev seems okay with it. He says, but it's not going to the judges. I'm going to knock them out. He says, I'm not going to leave it to the judges, but if it does go to the cards, I'm comfortable and I'm confident they'll be fair in a rematch. And then he's kind of poking at this lady to the right here, demonstrating, how Andre Ward kind of, does the shoe shine to the body. And he was saying, he couldn't feel anything. And, he could just walk right through the punches. And, the judges gave him a point for each and every punch that he threw. So, but look, even if you go back and count the punches, even if Andre Ward got credit for every punch, Kovalev still wins. And like I said, all 3 judges gave Andre Ward round 10, and that was a clear Kovalev win. And think about this. Think about this. From round 6 to 12, 3 judges gave Kovalev, let me put it this way. Round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, only 1 judge gave Kovalev 1 round. That means Andre Ward won round 6 to 12, 98%. The 98% of all the rounds. So 1 judge gave Kovalev round 9. 1 judge, 1 time. Everything else was 100% Andre Ward. Now, come on, people. Come on. Go back and watch the second half of the fight and tell me there's not 1 single round you cannot give Kovalev. But according to the judges' scorecards, the entire second half of the fight was scored in favor of Andre Ward. I mean, come on. Seriously, just watch round 10. Kovalev dominated in round 10. Turned it on. I mean, he said, I had a second wind in round 10. Dominated, okay? But yet, all 3 judges gave it to Andre Ward. So, then he went on to say, he was talking about, I just put out a video talking about the strength and conditioning coach, and he said leading up to the Andre Ward fight that he didn't even spar 10 rounds. I mean, how crazy is that to hear that, in his camp, in Andre Ward Kovalev camp number 1, he said we did 4 rounds, maybe 6, and he said I never went 10 rounds, not 1 time. In preparation. I mean, that's crazy, but he said he was running 14 miles a day. So he was talking about the strength and conditioning coach, and I don't think it was Quan Paxton or the new guy, the Alexander Mikanov or whatever. It was someone else, I think. If you guys know, tell me. But he said, he basically killed me. He had me running 14 miles a day, which did me no good at all. I needed sparring. I need, a specific, training regimen that only a strength and conditioning coach can give, and he said, he failed me. So he's blaming the coach, and he said, well. And he said, and also the coach wouldn't say, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that, because he was afraid that Kovalev would fire him. He said, this guy wanted to get paid. He wanted my money. Therefore, he didn't tell me what I was doing wrong. He basically let me do what I wanted to do. Now, that kind of gives a little bit of credence to the claims that Kovalev is kind of like he won't listen to anyone in his camp. You see, so here's where I'm going to keep it fair. A lot of people say, he won't listen to his corner. He won't listen to his strength and conditioning coach or John David Jr. Jackson, that, he's kind of just stubborn, and he doesn't understand the English, so I don't know. I don't know. But, I think he needs a good... First of all, he needs a good translator there. And to have a guy like Alexander Mikanov, whatever his name is, Alexander, the new Russian strength and conditioning coach, I think it's going to benefit him, because communication is everything. I mean, if you can't communicate with the guy you're training, then what the fuck? Like, what, I mean, what do you use? Sign language, right? But yeah, like I said, he went on to say that, he didn't even spar 10 rounds. But he said, look, leading up to the press event they're at right here, this was 2 days ago, by the way, he said, now I'm doing 10 rounds right now like nothing. He said, so my conditioning now is where I want it to be, and it's only going to get better. So I like that he said, I'm doing 10 rounds, 11 rounds, 12 rounds of sparring. And, he said, I'm prepared to go the distance. I feel good. There'll be no excuses in the rematch, nothing. He's not going to leave it to the judges. And he just went on to say, Christmas is over. He got a gift. And he's like, I want my belts back. And he worked hard. He worked hard for those 3 belts. And he's like, it's wrong. He said, I know Andre Ward, and he knows that he lost that fight. And you know what? I'm telling you. I mean, at the end of the day, really, I honestly think Andre Ward, he knows that he lost that fight. But it could be that he is such a narcissistic maniac that maybe he thinks he won. Maybe he won't. He didn't even go back and watch the fight and to see that he clearly lost. I mean, who knows? But I thought it was interesting that now, just, wow, like, how did he not spar at least 10 rounds, leading up in a fight with a guy that's known for hugging and holding and running like Andre Ward, like, you know what I mean? So that's crazy to me. And but one question I do have, I know Quan Paxton was with him in like Pascal in the Muhammadi fight, fights like that. But who was the strength and conditioning coach for Andre Ward? I don't know. I really don't know. But he claims that we're going to see the best version, the prime version of Kovalev. He's prepared to go 10 rounds, 12 rounds, whatever it may be. He says Andre Ward hits like a girl. He's like, I'm going to walk through his punches and I'm going to annihilate him. This is exactly what he said. I'm going to walk through his punches and destroy him, knock him out. If I can't knock him out, it's going to be a convincing, dominant victory for me. So, I mean, these are big words. This is big talk coming from Kovalev, so we'll see. I mean, to me, he's a determined man. He's pissed off. He wants to set things straight. So, I'll leave it at that. But like I said, I mean, out of this whole video, what I'm shocked by the most is that they didn't even spar, 12 rounds. I mean, typically you go over 12 rounds. That's odd to me. And the other odd thing was that his coach was afraid to tell him, things that he was doing wrong, and he simply just made him run like 14 miles a day. And there's video actually on YouTube of Kovalev running through the mountains and shit in LA. Just running. That's like all he did. So I don't know. I don't know. That's really odd to me. So, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. And you guys realize the fight is what, June 17th, I believe, June 17th. So we've got like what, 18 days till Kovalev Ward rematch. So so I'm looking forward to it. So we need to forget right now. Look, forget about Gennady Golovkin and Canelo and Brooke and Spence. I mean, this is where we need to be right here. So, I'm excited. I really, actually, out of all the fights coming up in 2017, the Ward Kovalev rematch is by far my number one fight. Other than, well, Gennady Golovkin Canelo would be number one, and this is a close second. I mean, this is a very close second. Like, I'd almost rather see this fight over Canelo Golovkin. So, and I'm going to talk about that fight in my next video, the Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez fight, and tell you what I think and what I know, and give you guys some new breaking news on that. So I'm going to leave it at that. So leave your comment below. What do you think? Was it a robbery? Do you think the new strength and conditioning coach is going to help Kovalev? And what do you think about sparring 10 rounds?